and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick, with the City of Hampton's Communications and Marketing Department. And today we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about not just members of the military and how they serve, but their families and honoring their service as well. I have with me two members of our city's Military Affairs Committee, Suzanne Higgs and John Gately. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good to be here.
And I should mention your dual role, Suzanne, because that's important to this to this event. You're also with Peninsula Town Center.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about military families and how the service member service affects everything about that family structure and what they can do or not do.
I'd be glad to talk about that. Estimates are that there are about 1.9 million military children in our country, and they face some unique challenges, and they really define the climate within their families, which can make all the difference. General Raymond Odierno, who's the Chief of Staff of the Army, the #1 person in the Army, said that the strength of our nation is its Army. The strength of our Army is our soldiers, and the strength of our soldiers are their families. And the nation owes a great debt of gratitude to the children who give so much themselves so that their parents can serve. So many families right now are going through multiple deployments.
I think particularly, in the last 5 to 8 years, those service members have been back and back and back for deployments. I mean, that's stressful in a family when mom or dad is gone in a dangerous place for that length of time.
It can cause extraordinary stresses on a family, obviously, but military family members have long been defined as extraordinarily resilient and adaptable, and they're kind of forced into that through their lifestyle. In times of peace, the normal rotation cycle for the military, we call it permanent changes of station, or PCSs, is 2 to 3 years. So children are accustomed to displacement with regularity, to losing old friends and being forced to get to know new ones, be in new school systems, be that new kid in the room or in the school that has to get reacclimated and readjusted to a new environment.
So it is a special challenge they face, and they do learn some wonderful coping skills. I mean, with any challenge we face and survive, we get better. But to recognize what they do to contribute to what our service members do, you guys have a special event plan, and this will be the second year of it. Tell me, Suzanne, a little bit, because you're kind of one of the organizing people here.
Sure. Well, it's our second annual celebration of the military child. We really recognize that members of the service and the spouses do get a lot of recognition, but April is actually the month of the military child put forth nationally, and we've actually worked with the governor's office and Mayor Wallace, and now Hampton and Virginia have declared that as April month of the military child as well. So we really wanted to do something unique to really make the kids feel special, to really show them that they are a service member and they serve right along with their family. So pretty much our event is Saturday, April 26th. It's at Peninsula Town Center from 11 to 2. It takes place, it's very big. There's a lot of people who wanted to be involved. So it actually takes up all of Town Square, and it takes up the midway, kind of by 9 West and Tavana, that little breezeway, that cobblestone area. And we'll have, we have 6 sponsors this year, which is wonderful. There's a great,
that is bigger
there's
than
a lot
last
of support
year.
this year. And we have all 5 military branches represented as well. So we'll have all of them there. And then we actually have about 30 organizations that will offer children's activities, but also resources for the parents. So it's really a dual idea of, kids come have a good time, it's free, you can stay for all of it or just part of it. And then the parents, there's resources there if they need them, if something they didn't know about, or, just letting them know as Hampton that we support them.
Right. So how is this different from other children's festivals? And I saw some photos, so I think I know some of the answers, but I'm going to let you guys say.
Well, for example, this year the Marines are going to do a push-up and sit-ups competition.
Oh,
and the Army actually...
I would fail that in a heartbeat.
So that'll be interesting. And then the Army is actually doing Simon Says with command movements. So it's really military focused. Each kid, we have some backpacks that we give away and some stickers that say I'm a proud military child, and it's really just patriotic themed. They also, each family gets a passport that has each vendor's name in it, sponsor and booth, and they get it stamped off after visiting everybody. So it's military and patriotic themed, but it's really open to the public. We want all families to come out and help say thank you to these fantastic people.
Well, and I think that's neat too for kids to have that celebration of the military and to do the sit up and push up and begin to think about what our service members do and if that's a career for them. Because this is such a military area, even for those of us who haven't served or haven't been immediate family members, your neighbors are, or your friends across the street, or half of your children's playmates. It's that kind of a community.
Right, it's just a neat way for everybody to say thank you, no matter what your age is.
I saw some adorable pictures from last year's of kids like trying on uniform hats, and there were, flags and all kinds of really neat things that sort of lets those children feel like junior military members.
I don't think there's any doubt in their minds when they are there that this is a celebration of them as military children. And I had occasion last year, I was going from the Peninsula Town Center to another street where we had activities for those families, and I ran into a young couple with two little children. And I kind of intercepted them and introduced myself as with the Military Affairs Committee of the City of Hampton, and said we appreciated their service, that we had partnered with the Peninsula Town Center for what was then the inaugural celebration of the military child. And I said, what do you think? How did it go? Are you having a good time? And the wife started to tear up, and she pointed to her husband. And she said, my husband came back from Afghanistan in the last 2 weeks. And she said, while he was gone, it was my job to be brave. And now we can just enjoy one another. And that's why we have this event, Robin, to say thank you to families such as that.
And it's wonderful if the service member is here and gets to be a part of it. But if he or she is deployed or is serving somewhere else, you at least, you support the family and allow them. I think it probably also extends that connection, Maybe they're somewhere else, but the family is involved in the military at that moment, and it's gotta help.
We had a lot of families. We had a registration line, and they'd come through, and we talked to them. A lot of members or spouses or moms, dads, they were deployed. So it was the mom or the dad with the kids. And for that to just have something.
Or in some cases, the grandparent, or I know one family, where there's a high school kid and then they're staying with friends so they can finish high school while the parent's deployed. I mean, It is, there's all kinds of arrangements that people make to support their families and to support their country. And it's, I don't know how people do it. It's amazing. Are you ready for that? You ready for
We're ready.
We are absolutely ready. And I think it's more than coincidence that it's happening here in Hampton. Again, according to the 2000 census, Hampton has the greatest concentration of veterans of any city in our nation, 100,000 or more. There's a real passion for the military and service of our service members, veterans and their families here. We are the epicenter of the world's military headquarters. People know that it was a great success last year, so it'll be bigger.
But no, you all are not the world's largest committee. How are you going to pull this off, right? You're all volunteers. I mean, it's a decent-sized board, but it's not huge. You looking for help?
We have lots of volunteers.
That's good.
We have exchange clubs and VSOs and the Peninsula JCs. They're willing to volunteer. We're a small committee, but we're very efficient. And we definitely have the passion to do what we're doing, and everyone absolutely loves this idea. It came out of a meeting where we were just brainstorming for the year, and last year we put it together in a month. Yes. So this year we've had some more time, which has been a little easier.
That's good. And I do think it is the kind of thing that a lot of people want to support and don't know how. So if you can pull together those, Exchange Club, JCs, those community organizations, that's wonderful.
And ours has always been a coalition of interests, and if we have a need for sponsors, as an example, we'll get the word out. And people have been very responsive, and positive in their expressions of support. And we expect that to continue.
That's great. Okay, so Suzanne, tell us the date and time again.
All right, it's always going to be the last Saturday in April. So this year it is April 26th at Peninsula Town Center.
It's always going to be. Wait a minute. You're committing that this is an annual event now, right? I'm going to write
Pretty
this
much.
down.
I think we're okay with it.
Okay.
I think there's always going to be a need and a passion and a want to say thank you.
That's wonderful. But I interrupted you. Last Saturday of the month, which is?
Right, April 26th. It's a Saturday, 11 to 2 at Peninsula Town Center.
That sounds great. Okay, I look forward to it. And I think it's a wonderful way to say thank you to the service members and their families, and especially their children. It's a tough job. Tough job being a military child.
Well, thank you for letting us come on and talk about it.
All right. Well, thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, John.
Thank you,
I want
Robin.
to come back and hear how it went, because I think you guys are really, I mean, it's always been a committee that's done a lot, but you seem to be being a little more active and a little more visible with some of these large events. And I think that says a lot about our community and people who want to support their military families. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching. I hope you will consider coming out to support our military families on April 26th. Thanks.